Hey guys, Nicole here with Obscure Reptiles and Caging, and today we're telling you everything you need to know if you're getting your first reptile shipped to you. So let's get started. I'm going to start off real quick and show you guys our new rescue puppy. Her name is Maze. So if you guys hear some weird noises, if somebody bumps over the camera, we're trying to get her used to being into the reptile room. She normally just likes to lay around like this, but just so you guys know, there might be some weird sounds, especially if she starts to snore, and she might also knock over the camera, which she has done already. So that's Maze. You guys will probably see her in some upcoming videos, and she just stretched and knocked the camera a little bit. But today we are going to be going over everything you need to know if you are getting your first reptile shipped to you. So when it comes to reptiles, you can ship them through the mail, but there are a lot of rules and regulations. Now, if you've never heard of this before, you've never done it before, the best thing I could tell you is either go to, let's say, shipyourreptiles.com, or there's a new one, Redline Shipping, which has to do with Morph Market, which we'll go over in depth in a different video. But what I've used for the longest is Ship Your Reptile, so that's who we're mostly going to talk about today. There are other ones like Reptile Express, stuff like that, but I've always had really good luck and great customer service with Ship Your Reptiles, so that's who we're going to focus on today. Now, if you go to shipyourreptiles.com, you can read a whole bunch of information that has tons of rules, tons of regulations to make sure that when you get an animal shipped to you, or if you are shipping the animal, that it's safe and you follow all of the guidelines. But today we're going to talk about some of the most important things, especially if you've never done this before. So number one, make sure that whoever is shipping this animal is doing overnight shipping and they're using one of these different, we'll call them subcontractors. So you can't just ship through UPS or FedEx or anything like that. You have to use one of these contractors who work with FedEx, like Reptile Express, Ship Your Reptiles, Redline Shipping. All of them are the only approved ways to actually ship and legally ship your reptile. So make sure whoever you're getting this animal from is using one of these appropriate shipping methods. You're going to hear me and other people talk about hubs a lot. So if you don't know what that means, basically, so we'll go Ship Your Reptile, they ship through FedEx. So a hub is an approved FedEx location that works with Ship Your Reptiles. So you can have an animal shipped into your local hub. That doesn't mean it can be shipped into any FedEx that you have around you. Sometimes a hub may not be the closest FedEx to you. For example, my closest FedEx hub is about 35-40 minutes away in Cheektowaga, which is the other side of Buffalo compared to where I am. That's just the closest hub to me. So if you are looking to get an animal shipped to you, to get live arrival guarantee, it has to be shipped hub to hub. So you need to know your closest shipping hub. The best way to do that is, again, go to shipyourreptiles.com or any of these other services, and you can actually see what your closest hub is. Specifically, if you just normally have to type in your zip code. A lot of times, like when people get animals from me, I will do it for them. I will ask for their zip code, find their closest hub, and I'll send them a screenshot of all the closest hubs to them, and they can pick and choose which one they would like. Sometimes, again, it's not your closest, for example, FedEx, so make sure you know where that hub is and you have access to get to that hub. Like, let's say you don't drive, you don't have a vehicle, and your closest hub is 2 hours away, then shipping an animal, you have to definitely make sure you have it fully figured out and that you'll be able to go and pick up that animal. Now, you can get an animal sent directly to your home address, but that voids the live arrival guarantee because it has to be shipped hub to hub. The reason why, let's say your closest hub opens at 9 a.m. Normally, that's when your animal is ready to be picked up, unless there were any delays. But 9 times out of 10, the animal is going to be ready first thing in the morning when that hub is open. But if you decide to get it shipped directly to your house, they still have to go to the hub, get loaded on a vehicle that's normally not temperature controlled, and then taken to your house, which normally is before 10 or 11 a.m. But I've had some animals that I have shipped for people, they wanted it specifically to their home, and the animal didn't get there till 3, 4, 5 p.m. The faster you are able to get your animal, whether you're getting a ball python, a bearded dragon, any type of reptile, you can even do fish and stuff like that, but we're specifically going to be talking about reptiles throughout this video. You want to make sure the animal is safe, you get it unboxed, you get them in appropriate caging, appropriate temperature, give them some water. So the sooner you get that animal, the better chance for them to thrive. So now that you know what a hub is, another way to get live arrival guarantee other than shipping hub to hub is you have to ship that animal out either Tuesday or a Wednesday, which will then give you either a Wednesday or a Thursday arrival. So you have to be available one of those days to be able to pick up. You have to get that animal within, I believe it's 1 hour of that animal being ready for pickup, normally for live arrival guarantee. But a lot of breeders also will put that in their policies, that you have 1 hour from the moment that animal is ready for pickup. So if I shipped out an animal, I will ship it out, let's say 5, 6, 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. That animal is going to be ready generally by 9 or 10 in the morning on Wednesday. The animal will normally only be in the box for less than 24 hours. Most breeders will wait till the last minute to drop that animal off at their hub. That way the animal is only in the box for a very short amount of time. So the faster you're able to pick up, again, the better for that animal. But you can only do, again, Tuesday or Wednesday shipments. That's when they can be sent out for Wednesday or Thursdays. You can do Mondays, but that tends to be the busiest day. And again, you won't get that live arrival guarantee. And then you cannot ship after Thursday. But that's very risky to ship out on a Thursday, because if there's a delay, an issue, or a problem, and the animal, instead of getting there Friday, will not be able to make it. If your FedEx location isn't open Saturday, or it has weird hours, or there's another issue, you won't get that animal until your following Monday, which is a very long time to be in a package. So always make sure to do Tuesday or Wednesday for shipping out a ball python or any reptile. Because these are always overnight shipping, they are pretty expensive. Even when shipping within the same state, you can be looking at $45 at the very cheapest, but lately things have been a lot more expensive, so more or less expect $55, $65, all the way up to $85 depending on where you're located. Shipping your reptiles, for example, ship your reptiles, you can ship anywhere in the United States except for Hawaii and Alaska. So I'm over in New York, and let's say I'm shipping something to California, even if it's a very small box for a very small animal, I could still be paying $80, $85, $90 just for shipping, not including paying for the box and all the other stuff that comes along with it. So if a breeder says, you know, gives you a quote of $85, don't be surprised. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that to expect for your ball python. So when shipping, this is a box that I got a snake shipped to me in. It has a label on it. These are optional. If not, you normally write on the side. This right here, it says wildlife, and it allows you to write down what species was in here. So this was one ball python. It's harmless reptile, non-venomous. A lot of times we write that down just so people don't think we've got a king cobra or something in here, and to not be afraid of it. But the standard shipping box, this one actually has really nice black foam. Most of mine always have white. But this one is really nicely packed, or he was when I got him. So this right here is some nice foam insulation. Sometimes you use paper. I like using newspaper, that way you can really pack it around there. And there's insulation all the way around the animal. So there's always going to be air holes poked in, and then the box itself will also have a couple of air holes poked in it also. And when you open up this box, part of the rules of shipping a reptile is you have to double contain that animal. So it's not just going to be sitting in that box, it's going to be in normally one of these two things. This right here is a reptile bag. It's pretty much the same as a pillowcase. They have these little drawstrings. A lot of times I will actually zip tie it or twist tie, so that way the ball python can't get out. It's also really good if you are going to be the one shipping to put some paper towel in here, because sometimes they go to the bathroom in the bag. And then you can also do things like this. This is a deli cup with just some bedding in the bottom. Always make sure you have holes around the outside, especially if you're going to be stacking and having several ball pythons in different containers when you ship. That way there's still airflow. But you want these guys to be able to breathe. They don't need water or anything like that for the, the less than 24 hours they should be in the packaging. But expect your animal to be in one of these. You also have to be aware of the temperatures, not only where you are, but where you're getting the animal from and the whole route. Because a lot of times these animals are not put in, let's say if you're trying to ship in the middle of winter, Up here in Buffalo, New York, you're looking at sometimes we're in the negatives. You cannot ship an animal unless it is above 45 degrees. A lot of places say 40. I call it 45 just to be safe. So normally anything under 60 degrees, you're going to want to include one of these, or you will find one of these. What'll happen is this will actually be taped to the top side of the foam. They'll wrap some tape around it, and that'll keep the inside of the box nice and warm. Again, you don't want to use this or ship your animal at all if it's under 45 degrees, but if it's between 45 and 60, 65 degrees, you want to throw one of these in. But you have to, again, be aware, like let's say we're in New York and the shipping route takes this, snake down here, over here, and it's, let's say there's a super cold front through one of the, like let's say Memphis, which is normally one of the places that the snakes will go through, the packages will go through. Let's say Memphis is only 20 degrees, but it's 50 where I am and 50 where the snake is going. We're going to want to hold off and wait till warmer weather to be able to ship this animal. We never have the issue really up here in Buffalo of it being too hot, but if you are going to receive an animal and it's coming from something like Florida or California, somewhere where it's very hot in the middle of summer, the person shipping might want to hold off. But just be aware of all that type of stuff. If, a seller says, okay, we're going to have to wait a few more weeks, it's too cold or too hot, doesn't mean it's a scam or anything like that. That person is actually just doing the responsible thing and making sure it's safe to ship you your reptile. A couple little tips for you guys. Let's say you go and you get a baby bearded dragon, it ships in and it's very cold in the package because, he's been in a box for the last 20 hours. Don't go and put that animal directly under a hot lamp and try to heat it up super quick. That can actually hurt the animal, that can kill the animal going from extreme cold to extreme heat. You're going to want to put that animal in the cage, but you can put them on the cooler side of the cage. As soon as it starts to warm up and starts to feel good, it'll go and find itself that hot spot, but you don't want to cook that animal and put it under too much temperature, or let's say it's a snake, you don't want to put it directly on a heating pad. Just put it in the enclosure and let it move around and do it itself. Now, on the very slim chance there is a delay in a package, I've probably had 100 snakes shipped in and probably 20 bearded dragons, and I had two major delays. One was ball pythons that took almost 3 or 4 days to get here, but luckily they both were perfectly okay. And one bearded dragon that got delayed 1 day. And that's out of 100 animals I've had shipped to me. It's scary, but if you reach out to, like, for example, shipyourreptiles.com, the people there for customer service, they get back to you right away. You can call them, you can email them. They're very on top of it. I have gone through Redline, and again, they were very good and very quick at getting back to me, so I really enjoyed both of them. They're both really good places. For example, if you are looking to ship, they'll give you discounts on your birthday. They'll send you discount codes here and there, and both of them have really good customer service, so highly recommend both of them. I haven't had that many experiences with Reptile Express, but I've heard a lot of good things from them as well. Alright guys, I hope this helped out. If you are interested in getting your first ever reptile shipped to you, shoot us a message. We've got some ball pythons that are going to be ready here in the near future. We've got some bearded dragons that are going to be ready, and hopefully a few other things like ackies, maybe even boas this season. So you can also check out what we have, twistedreptiles.com. You can check out our Morph Market. It's linked on our website, twistedreptiles.com. But that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We do a few videos a week. So I'll see you guys in the next video.